I have pressed a button.
Floor fell out underneath you, and you got everyone to surrender, and that was pretty cool.
The floor fell off.
Floor fell off. Where the hell is... There you are. There you are, teenager. Good work.
Teen lived.
What's he doing over there?
He was trying to tear off a cockpit that woke up at the right last second, is what it was. You know, to use his move. That unfortunately failed. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, though. So last time it was a investigation into and basically assault on a ultra-nationalist compound that had been, as far as you're aware, receiving intel from Kaki Ganger, the current owner of the planet, who is in the middle of a class action lawsuit from the population of the entire planet. Or at least representing the entire planet, more or less the entire planet. A majority of people actually did willingly acquiesce and sign on to this. Given that there's only about like 3 million people that live here, it's like, you know, roughly the same size as, you know, a large city doing it to its mayor, pretty much.
So did everybody get like a thing in the mail that says like if they want to opt in for the settlement lawsuits, they have to send an email to someplace?
It was that you had to opt out. You were automatically signed
see.
into it. Yeah. And you know, very few people actually signed out of it. So I mean, it worked out that way. It's kind of the opposite of how class action lawsuits work in real life, actually, where you have to deliberately opt out of something to be allowed to do them. But well, whatever. You know how it is. Listen, they have actually pretty good voting numbers here. Anyway, you got them to surrender, and because at this point they, you know, majority of their mechs are just straight up non-active, and if the moment they get to them, you can just take them out, and they're willing to give up. And you still have one last thing to do, though, because like you actually have no idea exactly where this whole information should be stored. There's not really a like main terminal in here or something of information.
I don't know. We could take hostages, or I don't know.
Well, we're taking prisoners.
I want you to know, just out of character, I immediately had to like do some mental gymnastics right here. Because like my brain almost auto went into Obsidian mode. And it was just, wait, that's not the right character at all. Anyway.
Not at all.
I was like, this isn't for me. I'm an idiot. Oh, wait. Wrong person. I'm still an idiot, but I could probably do this.
Entirely wrong character. You were thinking of the giant swordsman who protects his friends.
Look! Don't.
Hey, Obsidian doesn't use a shield.
Also true, though.
Yes, that's the difference. One is named Shield, the other has a shield.
Yeah. There you go.
Anyway.
One is named Shield and is part of a hearth. The other is named Hearth and has a shield.
Sorry,
anyway,
if you're not following the other game that Loon, I, and Newbie are part of, that's on Mondays. Anyway. Yeah, there is no available like main terminal in this building that contains a whole bunch of incriminating information. So what are you gonna do to go out and find it? Because assumedly it's still here somewhere.
Is there anyone on the main floor here that's still? I mean, I see like the Grunt and the Mirage guy here. They're still. What are they doing? Just chilling outside their mechs or something now?
They have deactivated any weapons that they might have on their mech, and in the case of like the Assault Grunt, dropped them. As in, there's just a fucking mech-sized assault rifle on the floor at this point, just waiting to do things. The Mirage doesn't actually have any weapons itself, so it's just, you know, deactivated its teleportation stuff and shields and whatnot. And if you want to force them out of the mechs, feel free to. Obviously, you can do that too, but If they've just given up at this point, they've just given up, right?
Yeah. I
Hey,
guess I'll go over to one of them and let's charm them a bit and ask them if they would be so kind as to let us know how they get the information from Kaki Ganje about what to do.
Using his
Yes.
actual name, trying to charm into
Yeah.
their nationalist tendencies.
They
Because
hope
you're
for-
the only person who's actually saying his name right. Uh, okay, here's the thing. I'm actually, even though it's not going to be able to do anything, I would actually tag your criminal aspect to give you a penalty here. Because these are the kind of people who, the idea of interacting with a crim is completely vile to them.
They know
As
that though. I'm still inside of a robot, and
you're
this is the
wearing,
first time I've talked to them.
yeah, but you're also wearing a, golden
That's
shades
true.
and have a big golden skull on your arm and stuff like
And I
that.
feel like the spirit of when your background complicates is that you, as a criminal,
So
are
yeah, that makes sense.
you
Yeah.
feel internally insulted by wanting to by
you're-
talking to cops.
Yeah, and you're like more willing to just or more likely just to screw up and make a mistake because of background. Yeah.
For what it's worth, it doesn't matter because a d6 literally cannot subtract enough to make this not a success. So you're good. I'm just saying,
They say.
naturally they just are the kind of people who, because they have clean records, I say having them probably done significantly worse shit than you've ever done, that they would never actually want to interact with someone who's been in a prison before, maybe.
They have clean records and that they hose down the torture room every other Friday.
Yes, exactly. Now you know what we're
We
talking about.
must have attacked on a
here.
Tuesday because it's still kind of messy in there.
A little bit. There's a full on. It's crusted out. Listen, it's hard to get it out every single week, and whoever would have done it before is just not feeling up to it. They'll get around to it next week. It's fine.
Baking soda and a pressure washer. Those help.
They keep having to kill the person who drives the truck to deliver the bodies because they can't let other people know. It's like a big problem. Like only people inside are supposed to be able to know. You'd think they would have a better system for this.
You'd think they'd have their
Also,
own driver, but they just keep asking Uber.
Yeah, they just we're not using our trucks. No way.
The smoke is also cleared in here, and so it's just the hole now. Just a visible hole that you could fall down at any time. It's very unsafe.
I think
Yeah.
Clarkson will fly over and land on top of the support that is sitting there, probably doing a lot of nervous squirming and trying to get out of the lava. And to just give him a bit of a tap on the head with the knife of all right, out.
It will crawl its way out if it best it can. Or do you mean the person
No,
inside there?
no, the pilot.
Okay, fair.
If it starts
yes.
walking, we switch from the knife to the launcher. No, out.
Fair dues. Where the hell did I put the generic? It doesn't matter. I don't need to pull out a generic.
Yeah,
text for this.
then just grab the dude by the scruff and fly back out of the basement.
Mhm.
So did the Mirage guy actually say anything?
Oh yeah, no, he's going to he's not going to say exactly where you would find it himself, but he's going to say just straight up, it's not something that we would know. We're not the people who organize that kind of thing.
Well, who is then?
Actually, the Mirage doesn't have arms, but it's going to
Rug.
point at the. So, all right, you remember that one of those mechs was destroyed very early, because the one of the two elites was destroyed early. It's going to point with one of its legs, that guy was our leader.
I'm assuming that he's the one that is now exploded in a ball on the floor someplace.
Yeah, one of the two mechs that fell into the. Actually, yeah, no, those two actually fell into the lava. So, it's gonna take a while for that lava to actually destroy one of those suits or anything like that. So,
Yeah, we want to do a search, see if either of them are retrievable, so we can impound them for questioning.
Middle. Oh, Boyce isn't here, is they?
Boix is
Yeah.
not here, yeah.
So I'm assuming that we just kind of assumed he ran outside or something. Needed to return some videotapes. I don't know who here can fly the fastest. That's probably small claims. You want to go take a look?
Yeah, go ahead and throw a get somewhere quick to try and nope. Taking my damn time watching these guys boil. Just oh yeah, I'll get right on that. Just gradually drifting over just on momentum back down into the hot pit.
Yeah, the two just they are in there and they're like sinking very slowly between it being lava, which is very dense and viscous, and on top of that, low gravity, so all of the mechs are like a third of the weight as they normally would be. It's actually hard for them to actually fully sink in there. So
Yeah,
it's more that just like
it's real hot
the
down here.
it's really hot down there, and I don't know that like the mechs, the pilots have been in there for quite a long time at this point.
They aren't coming
As
out.
they're not coming out, and I mean, there's any number of reasons why that's the case. Maybe their mechs aren't particularly well climate controlled, and they might have actually just died of heat exhaustion in there. Maybe they're just cooking in their own stew.
Hmm.
Maybe they're pretending we'll go away.
Might be that too.
Hmm. Do we like fish them out?
What do you want to do?
Is that support mech still fine, or is that also sinking into the lava? Because I feel that support mech may be able to help support get it in and out.
Yeah, the support mech is slowly taking damage down here, but it is not like destroyed
Okay,
yet.
Clarkson will like come back up, retrieve the support pilot, and be like, "All right, you got one thing to do."
all right. Because the spore mech actually then like puts out a sealant spray that it can do that kind of hardens up against the lava for a bit, which prevents it from starting to burn up pretty much. And it starts to like dig some of the lava out, which you've probably never seen a mech like do the oh that's hot sort of reaction before, but it's one of the best ways to actually get lava that's sticking to it off. So it ends up looking a lot like that, like touching a really hot coffee pot.
I have been muted for an indeterminate amount of time.
That
Anyway,
seems to be the case, yes.
What kind of damage does being down there do, or are we even keeping track of that anymore?
Heat
one
over
heat
time.
One heat per turn in the actual room. If you're actually touching the lava, it's one burn over time as well.
Cool. Well,
because it's burned, it's not like causing anything to melt down or anything. It's just like the mechs are slightly on fire.
Yeah, so Clarkson's probably just by default going to be hovering over the hole.
do you have a good look at where they are?
Yeah, I mean they're not sinking in. Like
cool.
They're sinking in very slowly.
At this point, getting frustrated with how long this is taking, as we are wafting about how to get these guys out of the lava. Non-refundable. Just gonna jump right down.
Would you? There it is. I believe it was the pyro actually is the one that fucking exploded basically because it took the it rolled bad on the structure check.
That sounds about right. So
I think that was it.
Hearth just jumps down, looks at wherever this thing is, picks it up, and then just walks out of the lava.
All right. Sure, that works, I guess. Just picking it up and pulling it out. All right. Again, the folks inside of this mech, or the folk inside this mech, has not come out of it after falling into here.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is a step in the right direction. As I plant the the thing down. Feels like this is just like heavy lifting. Yes, I'm the big boy. I should do this.
You're the only size 2 mech here, so yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Pyro is also size 2, so yeah. Anyway,
Wait, the pyro
Everyone
was-
say thanks to the big boy. Thank you, big boy. Thanks for
Thank you, big
jumping off,
boy. Big boy doing some big boy work
man.
here.
Big boy man gonna go get another little guy. Oh, big boy man.
doing some big boy
No,
jobs
thank
over
you.
there, big boy.
So
6
just,
thumbs
hard.
up.
just puts down. Which one would this? Because the pyro was the other one. Which one was this?
This was the pyro, actually. The breacher was the other one.
Okay.
Anyway,
Puts the pyro down and just sort of knocks on it. Hey man, we're on the clock here.
hey man, you want to get out? No response.
Would gesture over to the teen. Hey, can you crack a can for me?
Oh boy, you're asking me to do one of my favorite moves. All right. Actually, yeah, because this wouldn't be responsive at all. And it will like activate again. It's a different scene. Yeah, teenager has no problem with activating the snips to just tear someone out of the cockpit. And when he does, he pulls it out, and there is a corpse in there from having like just been cooked inside of its own thing, because it turns out as kind of a safety feature on the pyro that ended up, that due to this being a very poorly maintained mech, even if it was an elite mech, was a lock on it that it couldn't really open from the other side or from the inside, because the pyro is it's a mech that wades out into heat and everything like that. And so it actually ended up just insulating the heat and kind of cooking them inside there.
Well, that's less than ideal.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
I'm gonna turn to the Mirage again and is like, is there no one else around here that knows anything? And
Oh, well, I mean, he probably has something on him that has, like,
Hot enough to roast a dude isn't hot enough to melt their phone. Probably.
Yeah.
Let's see.
probably.
well, I guess someone should go on in and take a look around if they can deal with the smell.
Don't
Fine, I'll
mind
do
getting
it.
into. Hey, you didn't wait too long. It sounds more like you're interested.
Staying in my suit though.
I do
Yeah, you're-
have fine
you're-
manipulators installed. So just the extra bonus set of tiny arms pops out and starts looking around.
Yeah, you're going to find a small terminal on him that's like kind of like an iPad, basically. It's just like was to the side inside the cockpit that you would have access to as well. It is coated in like this thin film of human fat, probably just a little bit.
Gross.
Tasty.
Mm-hmm. And like a whole bunch of burnt, like beginning to singe up clothes in there on him. It's really nasty inside there, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, just my old job all over again. Just begrudgingly wiping the thing off and then doing the routine to see about getting it open and fishing around.
Yeah, it's not that hard from this
Yeah,
point
there we
on.
go.
And fix, yeah, no problem.
There's a healthy hack.
Hold on, there's a whole bunch of information in here. There is a not direct communication with Kaki, but rather through like one of his aides that specifically just straight up says like, "Hey, this is stuff that Kaki wants you to know about. There's a protest going on here and here at this time. I'm gonna want you to get in there, rough them up. Don't necessarily kill everyone or anything like that. Or alternatively, at another time, it was one like, yeah, you're gonna want to make sure to take out the person who's like leading this one, or like." There's like actually surprisingly detailed instructions in here about being full on, domestic terrorists, pretty much.
So is that going to be good enough to give to L'Oreal to?
That's probably better than what she was looking for. Yeah, that's probably better than what she was asking for, honestly, because while it's there was like almost zero chance you just get something signed like, All right, this is an order of assault and terrorism that is signed directly by one Kaki Ganche over here
Notarized.
with notarized and signature on the thing.
Oh,
The
I'm a
fact that it's
notary.
yeah, that's true. Would you like to go ahead and forge one up for us? That'd be great.
That's illegal. I'm a notary. No.
Fair enough.
I would lose.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me? I would lose my licensure. Ridiculous. Continue.
you have your job still, no problem, but you'd lose your license. Ah,
And,
yeah, it's
since he died of natural causes, pointing vaguely at the magma with half of the arms. This is salvage.
Not sure that's how that works, but sure.
hey, if someone like contests it in court as admissible evidence, there you go. That's an actual like argument you could do.
Look, he died to his machine malfunctioning, not an act of God. It's fine. We're in the clear.
So
And
say
even
the
if it
rest.
was.
I say to the rest of the
Go on.
group, well, what are we supposed to do about the rest of these people? Like half their mechs don't work, and the other ones have disarmed themselves. Are we just gonna tell them to fuck off? Or are we gonna take them out, or what?
It is worth noting that they are still huge pieces of shit, like every last one of them. It's up to you what you want to do with them, though.
The
Should we
job didn't
call-
specifically say anything.
Should we call the
I'm
client?
warming up my take someone out roll. Make a decision.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
call
like-
the client.
Yeah, that's fair. Every last one of them, like I said, are they're here willingly. They've done truly awful shit.
Though we are
It's
being
entirely-
paid investigative rates, not executioner rates.
That's true. Executioner rates are quite a lot higher.
I called the client. As an office worker, I want to make sure that we follow this to the T.
Yeah, Kodomo is going to go ahead and pick up very, very quickly. Like, oh shit, is there news? Do you need anything? What's going on?
So, my brain blanked because I want to keep saying siege, and this isn't a siege.
Assault.
It's a raid, more or
Assault,
less.
raid.
raid.
There we go. Raid was the word I was looking for, and my brain broke real bad. Yeah, so the raid went great.
Already?
We're very good at our jobs.
Sounds like.
We have your proof. And
Wait,
it was
what?
just
What level of proof are we talking here? What?
I would
Pass
relay
along the
like, hey, we have
files.
found signed documents to attack these things.
She gets like a big smile on her face that like matches, the fucking torn apart smile on the left side, left side for once. And yeah, it's like, oh, this is better than I was hoping for. Wow.
As I said, we aim to please. Was just curious, what do you want us to do with the rest of the men, women?
Yeah, we got
people?
like how many guys we got here?
At least a
1,
dozen.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Yeah,
8,
just
9.
like and then like however
10,
many
11.
support crew work here. So,
There
yeah,
is, in
we
fact-
got a couple dozen in this cell.
It would look really bad if you took him out. I really mean this. Don't do it. I don't think I can tell you to arrest them either. That's not technically under your jurisdiction. Can you just destroy all of their mechs? And then we'll keep track of them?
Sounds easy enough.
Gibraltar reluctantly puts away his take someone out dice.
The mental image I had was exactly that of you slowly pulling out a gun. I make a call, you slowly put the gun back
Put
away.
it back in my holster. Okay.
Man, again, come on.
Like, you can't officially arrest them, but could you, like, unofficially arrest them? Kind of put them in house arrest sort of thing? Lock them in a room?
I mean, we can arrest them for being, what they are, but Hey, do you guys think you could arrest them for anything else happening here?
Oh, they're gonna get like actually arrested for sure. Trust me. I'll make sure that happens. Like,
I mean,
I'll
I'm
talk with.
assuming this building isn't up to code. It fell down in the lava.
Clarkson-
That's definitely a workplace
Clarkson will
hazard.
start doing the rounds, sabotaging all of the ground vehicles that are just sitting around here.
Yeah, most of them are actually already like just inherently sabotage. Remember,
They're
this
just
one
kinda
you came in
junked.
here, it was just on fire, just in the wall.
Any that somehow didn't get destroyed in the crossfire or just were already inoperable garbage, Clarkson will just quickly punch through the hoods of them. Rips some bits out.
Gibraltar pulls out the checklist he uses to semi-obsessively check over, the ships in the hangar, as was shown prior, and just starts checking it off and cutting everything, just breaking everything in order by a checklist, just making sure everything is thoroughly
Come on,
broken.
dude. Come on. No, don't do that. Aww.
Just like every fuel line individually sliced, just nodding, saying good, checking it off.
Would return to the call and just say, yeah, we won't kill anybody, and we'll make sure that they will not be doing anything for a while."
Yeah, if you actually just prevent them from leaving, they probably can't leave. You're in the middle of
it's
a
really
desert on the
isolated
mountains.
desert zone,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So like,
I
idea-
believe Gibraltar and Clarkson are already destroying all of their vehicles.
it's like, okay, they can stay there and then get arrested later and then, go through due process. Or I guess they could try and leave out in the desert and probably die out there, right? Like normal style. It's kind of good result both ways.
Yeah, as long as they don't call for help or something.
I believe
Worst
that's
comes
what we
worst,
call
you
a
get like
win-win.
You get like a folk hero. Yeah, you get someone who, I mean, that's concerning because they might be incredibly powerful, but I guess that's a chance we're willing to take.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I mean Goku.
I'm going to gather up all of the people and then give them a little talking to, telling them that crime does not pay. And you should know that because I'm a criminal lawyer. And so if we find them doing any of this again, they're going to be in trouble. And so, I don't know, maybe that's a threat and roll here.
Yeah, feel free. I just like the idea of like, I'm a criminal lawyer, as in I prosecute criminals and also am one. So
Yeah, there's no money
Criminal-
in crime. There is money in being a lawyer, though. So you should take a look at that.
I recommend getting your
criminal,
GED.
both types.
Look, I have
lawyer,
it on
both
good
kinds.
authority that almost every one of you chose to come here and live on a planet. So you're just getting what came to you.
Yeah, actually, there's a couple of people in there who are like, yeah, it's actually kind of fair. The majority of them aren't. The majority of them will just like get, the moment that you come up
Maybe
against their face about anything that they do, they will be, shitty babies about it.
Any of them that are kind of being like, yeah, I should just get a real job. I would slide them a card for True Jersey manufacturers.
I do mean that there was only like maybe 2 of them that have this response.
Oh, that's 2
but
more
yeah.
than 0.
It should be noted that while I'm threatening them, I am brandishing the very large shotgun.
Speaking of, I do feel bad, by the way, that you didn't actually get to fight a mech in your new cool mech.
That's fine. There'll be times ahead.
Yeah. No, I mean, the shotgun really helps. Probably the shotgun does most of it, really. And yeah, they will go ahead and just go back to their rooms, more or less, and just sulk on their bunks. Because each one of these is a bunk, by the way. 3 stack tall.
Do they just cook off the heat of the magma? That'd be cool.
There's going to be some residential bit up there as well that has actual stuff.
I mean,
there's it continues down.
This place is probably like, if not 100%, like 90% geothermal.
I mean, it's a good
More or
energy
less,
source.
yeah.
Honestly,
direct-
we should consider building more societies on volcanoes.
What could go wrong?
Nothing.
Hey, you can.
You okay?
Where did that come from? All right, sorry about that. I don't know where that came from.
Giant cloud of
Uh-oh,
volcanic
looks like
ash
the-
slams through Doc's window, destroying him instantly.
Looks like Big Volcano is coming to take you out.
Ooh, got myself a lung full of volcanic ash, and all of a sudden I can't run the game anymore. Sorry.
That had that dude taking a hit of a blunt and not being able to finish his sentence energy of just starting to cough out of nowhere.
25 calderas. Fast.
As an aside, I just zoomed in really close to take a look at some of the sprite work, which is cool, by the way. But the Mirage does have little arms underneath of it if you zoom in really close to it.
Oh, really does it?
Yeah, it has tiny little manipulator arms hanging down.
Oh,
from
so
the,
it does.
Yeah, it's like the ball type Gundam.
Oh,
without,
yeah, okay.
Just without a gun on it.
I didn't even notice those things were like projector thingies, I guess, which makes sense being Mirage and everything. It looks kind of like a
It's got
blur
little
zoomed
T-Rex
out.
arms.
Yeah.
I think
ball
that's
of
also like,
Federation's
just part
coffin.
of the manufacturer. The manufacturer loves doing those little arms because the Death's Head has a couple little just human arms hanging out underneath the head. It's real weird.
Look, sometimes
It's
you
like
need to pick
Shimano.
something up.
The Mirage, like, it's a generic term for like a whole bunch of different mechs created by other people. That version could very well be a Shimano mech, yeah. You have to, in Z, when you select a token, it makes a big one for everyone to see that they can check out. What? Oh shit, it
Oh,
does.
yeah.
That's smart.
Where?
There's
Oh,
focus
yeah.
mode.
Where is this?
There's something
in
Doc
roll
can
20.
do to like present at us.
Oh,
Yeah, I can
I'm-
shift Z, so it apparently presents a bigger
Oh,
version.
there we go. Whoa,
Yeah.
that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you
That just-
click, it gets rid of
It
that.
basically dims the screen and puts that image right in the middle. Yeah. So you can like front and center be like, look at this, players. Yeah, like,
There's
there's the Death's Head.
Yeah,
Look
there's
at
its
that.
tiny arms. There they are. Ah.
Nice.
Yeah, at this point, it's is only basically mopping up. You've basically prevented every mech from moving. You prevented every other version of a vehicle that can really move out of this place, and you are, brandishing that dude's cockpit a little bit, and the tablet, the little tiny terminal, and bringing it back with you as you're ready to leave. No problem.
Hey, do they have any giant tarp here?
Yeah, actually, we do.
Yeah, let's steal their supply of sand tarp for the walk back.
Fair enough. Yeah. These big old, like, yellow crates over there, you can just dig some out of there and no problem. You from the GM layer too? Hold on a second. That's interesting.
Yeah, so you could just have like stuff in storage to.
Pop out at us, yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, who's that guy?
An assault
That's
gun.
just one of the assault grunts, but I had that from the GM layers. That's good stuff. Okay.
Powerful tools.
Oh, yeah, I guess like you could use that to give us information before going down if like we roll well enough.
Can you do that with things that are on the map that's not in focus right now?
Let me check to see if I can do it on the. So yeah, I guess I can do it from every layer, actually.
A
Oh, so
chunk
you
of
could,
the
like-
floor.
Yeah, that's neat.
Say stuff like, you are looking for where the. Oh right, yeah, okay. It'd say stuff like you're looking for all of these out of there. Anyway, you're looking for a section of pipe that looks something like this on the map to say, oh yeah, that's where you should go check things out. Very valuable. Anyway, let's get out of this stupid place.
The whole operation was run by.
Anyway, back in the the thin film of sand everywhere building on the back. Oh, I don't think I can thank you enough. For what it's worth, your company has been paid already, and I'm sure you'll be getting what parts of that from your own boss as soon as you can.
We salaried or work on commission?
You work on commission, technically. It's more that you're salaried with huge bonuses every single time you do an actual job, which is to
Nice.
say you've got a tiny, mostly livable wage, and then you get actually paid as well.
So, since we have met the 3 criteria for the things we needed, how is the lawsuit going to progress from here?
Well, it's going to take a while. The actual court stuff probably won't happen for like a good half a year if we're being real.
As somebody who went through a suit like that, it took 4 years.
Yeah. But it's considering the sheer importance of the case, it's going to take like be reasonably quick. I have a feeling that we're going to be calling you back soon, actually, sometime in the future over this one, because I don't think he's going to take it lying down. I mean, he knows that the suit is happening, because he knows everyone's involved, and he's probably going to go ahead and get people from the rest of his dynasty, if you could call it that, to come to his aid. So honestly, I think what we're done here is merely part A of the whole class action suit. But until then, you've done a wonderful job, and we can't thank you enough.
Do we have to serve papers to him next? Is that how it's working?
We'll
Oh,
deal
really?
with that part. Yeah. You got basically a lot of the pre-done stuff ahead of time. This was mostly evidence gathering, which, is happening alongside but before any of the actual court stuff about presenting any of this goes down. So they had to do all of this while also being actively, oppressed and doing anything like this. That's why you were necessary to come in.
This is like the discovery phase.
Yeah, actual court phase will happen later. Actual court phase will happen maybe in the next big mission after the next one. Who knows? That might be how it works. Maybe.
We'll have to go watch some Matlock to get up to date on court proceedings. The historical text.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I guess you can spend whatever time you want to do down here on the planet. Enjoy the sights as far as you can. It's mostly sand in every direction with a few mountains. A couple of the nice lakes that we're making, more or less. And the
Ashton
area
Todd
around
gets into
those,
it.
yeah, the area around those is actually quite nice. What's happening here is feel free to do whatever downtime actions you want to at this point, like because you are between.
We
You're
have entered
you're between
a long
parts.
rest.
I don't know about you guys, but I think it's time for me to get a damn drink.
Oh, going spicy, are we?
Yeah, look at downtime actions again.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
55.
opening that up right now. Yeah.
Page 50 on the book.
Yeah. So get a damn drink. Huh.
Yeah, I have to state what I want to do after getting a drink, or the. Like, I don't know how I was supposed to say, like, yeah, I want some
Wait,
equipment for
can
my
we-
mech after getting a drink, but
Can we team get a drink? Is that a thing?
I mean, yeah, if we all do it at the same time.
Group drinking?
Put a
If you
giant
wanna
pile of
help?
accuracy into the drink and then all suffer the consequences together.
Where
I
is-
kind of like this dumb idea.
Yeah.
I don't see why
Get a
you
damn
couldn't.
drink.
It's
You
It's
blow off some
just
steam
like-
per hours. Okay.
I don't see why not. You're basically just spending each other's like one of your like downtime actions to help each other with that. That's fine with me.
Yes, I suppose
Trying
like
to
the
think.
general goal here after we've just done this is to go out and one, relax, but two, like establish, be sure that, people know that we have done this. Go hang
More
out
or
in
less.
appropriate crowds and bask in it.
So are we looking for like the reputation then? Getting a good name for our company?
yeah.
So we have to roll. Is it just D20? For that?
It is going to be a skill check, is what the role here is all about. So it'd be a
Someone
relevant
is gonna
skill,
get
relevant trigger specifically. Someone's background, if it provides good and bad qualities to it. And then if you are actually going to be helping each other out for that, that's 1 accuracy for every help, I believe. So
Yeah, I'll just assist whoever wants to be throwing the main dice. I don't have a terribly relevant skill for this.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I have any skills that would super help here.
I mean, if the idea is for us to be like kind of repping our company while we're out
Okay.
at the bar, I guess charm.
for what it's
I can do
worth,
that.
for what it's worth, since I basically just sideway hinted, you're going to be back here on Kepra. A reputation would pay off in the long run.
Okay. I have.
Wait,
a-
Hearth is like a businessman, right?
Am I?
Yeah, like you're
Okay.
like a casual business
I-
guy, right?
Yeah, no. I was actually trying to get something out there, and I kept getting like talked over. I thought I was mute again. I want to try and all right. I assume we're there, and Hamburger is like telling the stories as well as Gibraltar. As a face in the crowd, I want to try and hype up their story as just somebody listening in.
I guess, sure. Like,
You have a disguise?
No, and one of my backgrounds is I am extremely forgettable. I am just a face in the crowd.
it's very easy
like
to
that.
overlook. He's just a guy. He's just a fucking black suit wearing sunglasses. Like, it's really easy to just forget that he's there at all.
Unfortunately.
Well, you forgot to put the accuracies in.
Oh, shit.
That
True. You could
that
get
just
it
a
above a
D6?
10. Yeah. You roll a 5 or a 6. here.
Incorrect.
Nope.
isn't it?
Okay. so-
Wait, I thought you get like 3 accuracy, right? Because we're all working together. Yeah. that
Is
how
it 3
Well,
accuracy or 1?
Okay, so here's the thing. You probably don't want to have it be that way, and that's fine with me if that's the case, because the actual downside to this is not that you're going to is not that like it's going to cause any problems or anything. It's just that people are going to notice Hearth of like, wait, hold a second. You were one of the people who were doing that. What are you doing over here? Get
All
up
right.
on stage with like the rest of them, basically.
So here's the way that this plays out. Hearth has this as an idea and attempts to execute, but Hearth is extremely lightweight. And just messes up the story repeatedly, or like messes up and like trying to hype it up.
You go full like who do you think you are? I am in the middle of it. And yeah, it's like people will notice. Yeah, you should be up there. What are you doing down here? And kind of force. What all that's going to do is like prevent you from giving one of your accuracy to everyone else who's doing this, because that's more or less what you were doing. You were trying to hype up their story, right? You were just giving them an accuracy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you didn't even have to roll for that, actually.
Look, I wanted to though.
The question
That's
is,
fair.
does anyone have a relevant bonus to throw into this?
Yeah, I can charm. It's kind of my backstory
Yeah,
being a smarmy asshole, so.
Gibraltar has the literal exact opposite skill set for this, so no.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to hype up the crowd, saying that if you call us the space lawyers, then we can help you with all of your problems. And
Judiciary
we're very good at
outcomes.
that. Judiciary outcomes, yes. So I guess
The,
it's a charm
the
roll.
Space
with-
Lawyers TM.
Gibraltar, in the middle of a carousing, like networking situation, will just have the single beer in 2 seats away from everyone else and
so
nursing it.
what accuracy do you put on? Just 1?
If everyone else is helping, then it would be an additional, let's say 3, because Salt would probably I'm assuming Salt would be there.
Salt would be there.
I wonder if this actually works like this.
Huh.
So that's
Yeah, it's
19
pretty
plus
good.
6 plus 4. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at
Is that-
conning a crowd, I guess, based
Wait.
on my backstory. So
Is that a? Yeah, it was a 19. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, it was a really good roll, is what it was. Yeah, no, we're gonna go. This is gonna be a real fucking party, is what's gonna happen here. You're gonna mark down like the names of every single important person that's in this room, and because they're going to give you their card. They're going to say like, "Hey, if you need anything, just talk to me. I've got you," and like so on and so forth. Like this happens like at least 7 different times of someone saying, if you need anything, talk to me, I'll hook you up.
Well, so it says
Uh,
that we get 2 things from the list. So one of them, I guess, is the reputation. Can the other be like safe harbor, guaranteed safety for meeting, planning, or recuperation? I guess that can-
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah. If you want that to be one of your 2 things, 100%. Yeah, let me
I
go
think
ahead
that
and
makes
just
sense.
Yeah, like, it's like probably a part of this as well is that the success that we have had with this means that a lot of people who were kind of on the fence might be more actively participating in the resistance now as well.
Yeah.
probably, yeah.
Like people on the fence, particularly about like if the forces were going to be able to deal with, you know, their mechs and whatnot, for sure.
And then, oh wow, 5 guys took apart a whole base. Yeah, we could probably deal with that.
Glad
Where's
that everybody
my-
thinks that we're competent, just as planned.
There's my plot document. I completely forgot to bookmark this. Whoops. I'm just gonna mark down right here here now that you basically have permanent reputation and safe harbor in Kepra, which again is gonna come up again.
Nice. Also, can I get Teen a drink?
Absolutely.
He's with us, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Man, you think I never thought I'd be down here on Kepra itself, like hanging out and having a good time. Don't tell anyone that I was one of the pirates, man. Just don't do it. It's gonna be a bad time if you do. I'm sure they're not gonna like it, because I mean, I've sucked down quite a lot of their ice that was really nice at some point.
I just tell him to just be quiet and drink his drink, and he should be fine.
Gibraltar.png.
I say, no problem, man. Also, never refer to it that way again. Just
Why?
never
I mean-
say, suck down their ice in front of me again.
Also, just call
That's
it your
what I do,
previous
though.
employment, and no one will question you.
I mean, I'm sure. Yeah, I got no problem with doing that. I guess I was just. I should have trusted y'all more than I did. Anyway, y'all are great. By the way, I've already had like 5. I'm down for another one if you're paying, but I am already. I did put some down off my own wallet too.
We're expensing this. Why are you paying for yourself?
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, get the receipt for that. Give it to, who is it, Hearth? I don't know. One of these people could figure it out.
Gibraltar looks up and says, "It's being expensed," and then looks back down to his book that he's reading at the party.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I guess the question is Uchen know that we're expensing this?
No, he's probably fine with it actually. Like, you don't really get that much like contact in the middle of a mission. Like, they just kind of trust you to do it, and hey, if you don't come back, that's probably when it starts to be a problem. It's a very lighthearted, very lighthearted mech combat mercenary business. It's practically a co-op with a boss.
So were any of the rest of you going to try for getting a damn drink?
For what it's
I
worth,
thought
you
it
got
was
2
just we were
downtime
doing-
actions.
I thought we
was
were
it
just
just
doing
that?
a
We
gang
all- yeah.
activity.
Yeah, so we
Yeah,
all
I
we
assume
were
that
all
was all
helping with this get a
together on one
drink,
good roll.
and then it would be we
Yeah.
have
I say.
Yeah.
we could then do another round of stuff separately.
Yeah. If you want to, you can wait if you want. Like, if you want to do it on the ship instead or something like that. But yeah, unless you have any additional ones, again, stop me and say I might want to do one and just like look through all of these, because you can get anything you want from off of these. Like, you can get the one that's like, oh, this is the mech equipment and gear one. You're looking for one of those, and that's completely up for grabs too.
Really though, Hearth, once we're back in orbit, you and I really need to finish mapping Pod 6. It keeps making noises.
Which one was that?
Pod 6. It's next to Pod 7.
Okay.
It's not next to Pod 5 though, weirdly, because that's when it wraps around again. Like, Pod 6 is actually in the opposite direct, end of Pod 5. It's weird. The layout's bad.
We gotta think about renumbering the pods, but one thing at a time. First, what's in them?
Yeah. Back on the
Okay.
consultation.
I have a role that I want to make. I am going to attempt to further my my organization
Your
the-
branch off of True Juicer
Yeah.
Manufacturer.
at the parent company. I'm going to throw my civil worker one at that, call him back to my supervisor and just saying like, yeah, first major job. Like, I don't really count that first one. It was just simple jump down to the big wall. But the overarching, this one went pretty well. I did send back a couple of, or I did forward a couple of the. I don't know what word to refer
A
to them
couple of
as.
locals. You scouted some talent?
I scout, yeah,
perspectives?
that's what I would say. Scouted some talent, and I'm sending it back. So this is gonna be the get organized role. 17.
Yeah, 17. I believe that only on a full failure does something bad happen,
Yes.
right? Yeah, it just
I
gains
gained
+2 efficiency or
Yeah,
influence.
so I would say this would be like 2 influence,
Yeah, sure.
as I like specifically people I'm forwarding from the place back to the insurance company.
So plus you're now at +2 on both, I think is the idea, right?
Correct.
Okay, no problem. Your superior at True Jersey Manufacturer here, who has somehow managed to miss that the home base is called the Consultation. Yes, congratulations. Your boss responds very positively to the. They're actually going to go ahead and say, we appreciate the scouting, but unless they're going to be your direct employee as new manager of this branch yourself, you don't have to actually run it by us. You know, you can hire people now.
It just sort of has this moment of, oh, what?
You formed a branch on like to like do all of this stuff. Like, you're the boss of that branch. You're the manager of it.
I see.
Like, unless you're recommending them to
Oh,
other
no,
parts of True Jersey
I am
Manufacturing.
playing this off in character as like, wait, I can do
Mhm.
what now?
You have
Because-
hiring responsibilities, yeah.
Because again, I am supposed to be just a generic office worker and just, hey, you can hire people. Wait, I can what?
Yeah. I mean, you can hire people only to work under you on this branch, but you can still hire people to work under you on this branch. You're a regional manager, sort of. Not really a region, but a partial manager.
But okay, yeah, noted. In that case, yeah, let's say before we left the planet, Earth like made a call or two to the one person or the two people that seemed pretty all right.
Right. Okay. That. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and put down a couple of former white supremacists onto our payroll, and that's that.
Look, if I find out that they're doing something wrong, let's just say I know a guy. Glances, this is happening at the bar, glances at Gibraltar. The eventual side plot where I have to hire Gibraltar for a hit.
On
Have to
some
pay
of
him
your
a
own
consultation
employees.
fee, yeah.
Listen, I fucked up on hiring. I'm gonna need someone to take these two out. They're just sucking up money and they're not doing anything good. But you could just fire them. No, they need to die as well. Yeah. So yeah, your branch expands. This is like True Jersey Manufacturer, like legal branch, like legal legal expenses branch or something like that. Like I think that's how it would be. That's you're hired on to. Is it?
Yeah, that sounds
You
right.
are a manager of this new branch that was hired on as a consultant and like contractor to judiciary outcomes, and you just happen to be doing both at the same time. Hearth is the busiest people in the busiest person in the group, by the way. It turns out.
It's definitely not me.
By the way, Hearth is also the only one who's not salaried.
Of
The
course.
the difference in payment is like tiny. It's not much at all, but you are the only one who's not salaried. Officially.
Yeah,
Correct.
speaking of a salary, because I have to pay my dues, I'm going to walk into Unchen's office here and ask him if there's any work to be done that could be filled by a teenager. Because teenager
By
needs a
who?
job. Yeah, we found this guy and we kind of promised him a job, and he's actually been pretty helpful. So I don't know, maybe if we could take him on to clean the hallways or something. I don't know what we need to do around here.
So do you actually let him into the office?
I mean, I thought he was following us around anyway.
Okay, well that's fair. It just like he doesn't kick open the door, and in fact like opens it very, very your first assumption would be that he would kick open the door, but he actually opens it like overly respectfully with both hands on the knob and then, kind of Elvising it open and closed. And closes like, hey there, sir.
Yeah, I
I'm,
say that not only is he a star witness in our upcoming case, but also he has been very helpful in both video production and ripping people out of mechs.
Very diverse
Uh,
skill set.
Two very useful talents in our job.
And Shin actually like gets up from the slouch that his business slouch and puts one hand on the side of his face. Is like, that is a diverse skill set.
And out of mix.
Yeah, I say that the
Video
rest of the group would be happy to vouch for him.
So video production, ripping people out of mechs. Do you have a legal background at all? Have you passed the bar?
Hans Gunther looks around nervously.
The teenager responds like, not the bar of this local region. In fact, I've only done I only did like a single year in law school before dropping out. I could not afford it, and the debt was going to really, really bear down. And that's actually why I became a pirate afterwards, because I was just trying to pay off my school debts. I actually managed to do it a couple years back, and I just kept on being a pirate anyway.
Pretty lucrative career.
Lucrative, and also I was good at it at that point. I mean, it's not like it's easy to pull someone out of a mech without... It's not easy to pull someone out of a mech without killing them, you know? Alternatively, to pull someone out of the mech without killing them, and then killing them afterwards, of which I have also done.
See, like I said, diverse skill set.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think I'm legally allowed to send you out on field missions as it is, but you can end up, you can actually study here, and then we can cover the expense of you applying for the bar again. No problem if you'd like. We can up until then put you on a ship staff, I suppose. And if you do actually have video production skills, we could actually use that. We always need more of that because editing is a miserable process that I should not
Everyone
be
hates.
forcing Twinfree to do when she's already doing like 40% of the other work.
Squire.
And
He still
Yeah,
edits everything in AV-Synth.
yep, more or less. I mean, hey, it's easier to program. Nielsen like puts both hands on the edge of the couch and does this weird kick to the side with both legs and clacks his heels together. He's like, "Oh boy, thanks, boss." Calms down, straightens out his leather jacket hard suit again, and then does the respectful door open, door closes door behind you. And then you hear running off down the hallway. How
Does he
old
know
is he?
not to go towards pod 6? Because
No, he
Yeah,
has
there's a
no
problem with
idea.
Pod 6.
By the way, Unshan does ask, how old is he?
I think he's older than I am. I'm not sure.
36?
Like 36, 37, yeah.
He's got a
Bizarre.
weird name. And then Urchin and I both look at the camera directly.
Over in the cafeteria,
Sure.
Clarkson has shoved a couple of tables together and started laying out like a printed out miniature reproduction of the exterior of the ship. This is not the first time that he has attempted to map the ship. It will not be the last time he attempts to map the ship. Things keep being weird about the shape of the exterior of the
It's non-Euclidean.
The only thing that we actually managed to get of the consultation is this like section in the very center. The farther you go on either side, it starts to get weird out there.
One of those fucked up paracausal ships.
Like a circle, but not like a real circle, a freaky circle.
one consistent thing is that none of the scans ever remotely line up with like the as-built specifications that the ship supposedly has in its registration.
It is like, as far as you know, whenever you see it from the outside, it is always just a normal looking ship. But it's always different.
It's the details where things start to get weird.
The Greebles are.
The Greebles keep moving around.
Fractaled.
The Greebles are.
Gibraltar, can I go for a custom trigger, by the way? If not, I have a
Absolutely.
backup option. Okay, great.
Half of newbies are custom,
So-
so don't
okay,
feel bad
great.
about that at all.
I'm
All of
so
them
I'm
are.
assuming this would be Gibraltar is on the other side of the cafeteria from everyone else clowning around. Just sitting there with a laptop with Excel open. You know your boy's got them spreadsheets. And watching the footage of what happened and just like watching the entire mission, kind of going through, breaking down, writing what the costs of everything were, what the costs of everything, like every action taken, kind of like breaking it down, going through it and trying to figure out how we could have been more efficient overall. And just kind of combining the actuarial knowledge with like the small amount of like battlefield experience, and kind of just learns how to assess risk in a battlefield situation a little bit and just notice what's going to be particularly dangerous. And I just want to get a risk evaluation at a +2.
yeah.
Yeah.
Finally.
Sounds like a
battle
plan.
data.
Oh, you're talking about like getting this as a skill. I thought you were about to
Yeah.
roll it. I am a fool.
No, I'm using get focused as my downtime action to get a new
Yes.
trigger. Yeah.
Absolutely, no
Yeah.
problem. Sorry about that. My brain completely First and
I didn't even know you
foremost, the
could do
thing that
that.
definitely the most inefficient and ridiculous thing that happened was that trap room. That one right there, you could definitely do better in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked, but also there was like a bunch of silly shit that was used in it basically for no reason.
There was literally a tank that we didn't set off. So like that was clearly unnecessary. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff to review that like the floor collapsing. Could we have noticed that beforehand? Was there something, could we have deployed somewhere else? Should we run analysis of the blueprints of the building if we can? You know, like what do we do to
Ahead
get
of
around
time,
that?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that floor
in
trap
that
was just
case-
like one off, like a one character sheet thing off from me getting my ass kicked in the doorway there. So
By the way, just so you're aware, that thankfully, the damage done to that building that you were in was not ever expended on your end at all. So thankfully, doing as much damage there was completely, as you wanted, completely allowed. No problem at all. Because I mean, it wasn't on the books like
This is
property in the
just
first
for
place.
research and learning. Yeah. Just for like down the line information.
Yeah, I like to think of this more as less of a, can we find a better way of doing this instead of having to trap an entire building, and more, can we trap the building better?
Yeah, could we trap the building less, cause less damage to the infrastructure, and still get the result? Exactly. It's spreadsheets. He's just doing battle spreadsheets. That's
Well,
what
exactly,
it is.
yeah.
With the amount of hazards that we set up, we could have lured in like 40 guys.
The cost efficiency.
In fact, I want it known I'm renaming Riskavail to battle spreadsheets. And that's Nicholas too.
Good to me. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Teenager is going to go get fitted for a suit. Maybe. It's not going to work, but he's going to try.
Gonna go to the men's warehouse.
This time around, Clarkson is settling in on the hypothesis that what we have going on with our whole situation is one or more colonies of either space fauna or like feral repair drones that are just moving stuff around arbitrarily. Or they might be nesting.
Hearth at this point has sat down and just went, okay, so which one is pod 6?
Good question. So usually over there, 1 to 5. Then J. Then Alpha.
Wait, what?
Hey, I don't write the labels. I just call them as I see them.
Yeah, it's at this point, it's the first time that Hearth has taken the downtime and finally has what's the word I'm looking for? Like climatized to the being on the ship and just, wait, how is this ship laid? Wait, none of this makes any sense.
We trying to map out the consultation again today, Clarkson?
One of these days.
I don't think it's gonna work, man. I don't think it's gonna work.
What? I don't get. How does you go down to get?
Look, we know where it is, and we know where it isn't, so it's gotta fit somewhere in that space.
It's parts of the consultation move, and we're not entirely sure why it does that or what it's all about. I've never looked into this myself, but I think there might be an NHP somewhere on this ship that does that just to kind of mess with us. You know what I mean? It's not like it causes any real problems, but it's some kind of nonsense for sure.
No one checked to see that the emblem on the back of the ship said Horus.
There are just sections of the hull that are like one of those bootleg firearms that is stamped with like 20 different logos from different companies just as decorative marks.
It's honestly just really unfortunate that the coffee machine is over in the unstable part of the ship. You really wish it would be in the middle when you need your coffee, right?
Hey, do you
can
know what
make
happened
your
to the
own-
last guy who tried to move it?
You can get your own regular coffee machine if you want. It's just, it has to be a personal expense. They're not going to expense it. I've got one. Listen, it was a good job. It was a good idea. I mean,
it was a good job buying a Keurig. Good job, Lee. You did it.
Vesperos has one, but I mean, his was a gift from Unchi and his dad, so
This
like
is the,
that technically was a business expense.
Gonna build up to the idea here of continuing off of other folks have tried to salvage miscellaneous stuff from unused parts of the ship. Clarkson is planning to go fishing out there. And so I'm going to get creative with some invent or create. He plans an expedition out into the... Alright, just skimming by with a 10.
Okay, well, that's a bare success, but it is success. If this is a new project, then you have an idea of how to continue to do the right. If you are in fact trying to map out and harvest bits reliably from parts of the ship that are off screen, you're gonna need some extra gear to you have an idea of how to do it.
Gonna need a bigger
problem
boat.
is you need a bigger boat. The problem actually is that you need to lock down that section where it is so you can actually work on it for long enough and then come back to it every so often to continue to work on it. So what you're thinking of is that you need some way to Well, if it's some form of paracausal bullshit, you need something that actually observes it and keeps it locked down by doing so. And if it's not paracausal, you just need to make sure to keep an eye out on it so that whatever is causing it does not want to cross onto cameras, basically,
Do
and
we need
get
bait?
caught in the act.
Either surveillance to dissuade it from squirming around, or try to figure out what any of the components like and see if we can just kind of lure them around. What kind of treats do you give? Like that dome that keeps me. It was over there last week. You saw it. We could always see it out of the window from the break room, and it isn't there anymore. I think I found it, or it's a separate identical dome. It's
The
over there
separate
now.
identical dome, which might or might not move. Just be wary of the dreaded cone. It will destroy you. Yeah, so that's a great get creative roll that will pay off the next time you.
Yep, it's a work in progress to cash in later.
Right.
Clarkson, your map says that there's a second cafeteria.
The shadow cafeteria.
I have definitely had a time where there were 3 cafeterias. If there's only 2, that's normal, honestly.
Legend says there once was a Bass Pro Shop on this ship.
All right, well, that's my other downtime. Other people have dice they want to throw.
Off the top of my head. I mean, I've already made my 2 checks.
Yep, I did my 2.
We get 2?
Yeah.
Ominous
yeah.
copy.
In
Yeah,
between major
we-
missions.
Yeah, we all grouped up to help you with the big bar party, and now we each get one individual one. Yeah, afterwards.
I'm also gonna treat the big bar party rewards there as like a big deal ones because you all work together. By the way, like
Nice.
those are
That
going
makes
to be
sense.
really valuable because you spent all of your downtime on it. Spent a bunch of your downtime on it anyway, not all of it.
Yeah. And
And obviously,
for what it's worth, I guarantee Boix would have been on board for helping throw a bar party. No way Salt wouldn't have done that. So good stuff.
Salt would have also shown up. Like Salt would have shown up with,
A montage.
no, with some hot dish. He would have gotten like the best hot dish around and some potato salad.
We were having the hot dish while discussing the map.
Yeah. Leftovers from the party because he made way too much.
Correct. Yeah.
That's the only amount of hot dish you can make, by the way. There's never like just enough or too little.
I guess I'm doing another roll real quick. I'm just going to get focused and try to get a backstory, like learn about the history of this planet and how Kaki Ganje came into power.
The lore of the
Oh yeah,
land.
sure.
Yeah,
I'll have to
just
make
so,
up a
like,
fair amount of
we
it
need-
on the spot, but I can remember it from that point on, no problem.
Sure. I mean, like, you don't have to say it right now. I'm just saying, like, I'm just going to give myself a skill check or whatever to do it.
Find
There
your
actually
next
was-
book to read.
Yeah, feel free, and I'll give you more because you actually do have something off of that. There was a bit of a jumping off point that you can work from.
Could I just name the, like, what should I name the skill? Doesn't matter. Kepra of history or something.
Sure, yeah, if you want to do that
Sounds good.
on the books. And if you would like to roll it right now, that would also be nice.
Oh, sure. Let me add that, and that works.
Oh, hey, you actually did some. Wait,
Oh, well,
hold
that's
on.
with 23
Re-accuracy.
accuracy, but still, 17 is nice.
17 's
Yeah,
still
when
plenty. Yeah.
17 was
Yeah.
zero accuracy. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. So
19, yeah.
one of the things that you actually talked when you met the teenager, there was actually something offhand that you mentioned about, well, that you also ended up naming the other planet Chumbort. That there's a bit of a rivalry going on between the two of them. Kepra's side of it is almost identical to what teenager actually told you, which is to say, it's a nebulous rivalry caused by like an attack that happened ages ago, around when both of them were set up from two rival barons, and so that they've actually been at each other's throats for the past like couple hundreds of years. Because I mean, both of them are actually young for colonies. Like they're only like a couple hundred years old, which in real life, a colony it does not take that long to like form up and like ingratiate itself to everything. But this is talking about full planets, so it takes longer. And on top of that, a couple hundred years is actually in this setting, people are still alive from when they first showed up on the planet. So in the grand scheme of things, they're both still very recent. Anyway, it's actually just something that's not written down as far as you're aware, but there is a known aggression from one side to the other or vice versa, and both of them believe that the other one did it. And this has caused a long-standing feud between the two that's been hot and cold depending on time period. It's been cold lately, but as aggressions from the pirates that you just dealt with earlier, les Sans Croisés, aggravated it, and like there's probably an upswing happening soon. It might not go to war, but it is something that will come up, and hey, you might actually be part of it now because of your involvement with the planet as of this point.
Sounds good. Feel it's probably useful to know a bit of the backstory if we're going to have to do any sort of lawyering stuff.
For sure. That's the relationship with Chumboard. Otherwise, it's a more or less pretty standard like colonial history going on here of folks show up saying this is going to be our new land. We are going to get we're going to form an economic house here. And what it actually ends up being is mostly an exploited landscape that slowly over the course of like a very long time becomes a completely modern zone at the expense of thousands to millions, basically, as you have to get off of their work. The entire place ends up becoming, a core world of the galaxy. As it is, it's just like one step not diasporan, it's the other one, and not metropolitan. Cosmopolitan, I think, is the one that's like still. No, Cosmopolitan is it's diasporan. Anyway, whatever. It's a frontier world still, but a very close to being completed frontier world. More information may come up at different times when you roll for it at different times and locations. I'll remember to give Salt one of these before you actually get on to the next mission next time. Meanwhile, I think I should probably come up with a couple missions and give y'all a choice for what you want to do.
Yeah, if we're just kind of spinning the Rolodex and...
In fact, let me go ahead and get into the back of this book, because there's actually a random mission generator in here, and I can work with that as my default.
There are
tables.
tables.
I was gonna say, I don't know how much we were planning on doing for this sesh, but
not that much, but I want to get at least a little bit more out of it.
Yeah.
Where was this in the book? I believe it's just on the GM section.
Like the random mission generator? Yeah, I don't think we have that.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and start rolling dice here, and then I'll come up with what this means in the middle of it, and then also interpret it actually later.
Genuine random encounters.
Being reinforcements. All right, so I know I have a feeling I got a good idea about what's going on over here. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. Okay, yeah, I've got an idea. At some point, Unshan's going to go after a couple of weeks, actually, because it's going to spend a long time. You realize that remember what I talked about, if you don't show up again, that's assumption, because otherwise you're left alone to do stuff without checking in all that often. About a couple of weeks ago, the main team, the other team of Desperos, Storm and Denning, all went down to do different jobs alongside a different sort of situation going on. And they haven't shown back up yet, which is concerning, because especially because Storm's down there. He's supposed to be the star pilot of the group and everything. I rolled the goddamn cavalry and holdout down here. So what you're being sent out to do is that apparently you might need to go on a rescue.
Nodding my head.
We might have assumed that the opposition would be a little bit less dangerous than it is. This is a side mission out in the swamps of Chumbort, is the way I'd put it. Very, very hostile zone that happens to be in the area here, because you're hovering around the same area between the two solar systems and whatnot that only require a very short jump between the two. Otherwise, it's like, just a couple of weeks travel both ways. So they were sent out on a similar job down there, not to gather information for like a lawsuit or anything like that, but actually just regular mech mercenary stuff. And they have not come back. Up. Natural features. Ah, Jumbort's a ringed planet. Neat. That's stuff. And has a big sensor relay in the middle of that ring. Ah, here we go. Okay, good stuff. That Chumbort is a huge swamp that has extremely active precipitation and like evaporation cycles that causes it to have constant rain, more or less, and a lot of disruptive electrically charged storms on top of that. So a lot of the environments that are actually like built in there to live on are domed. It's in complete opposition of the dry nature of Capra. It's extremely wet over there. So I hope you're gonna be
Florida
interested.
planet.
Yes. Go. It's a terrible Floridian planet all the way through.
That sounds like a chum board.
If Capra was the Arizona, then this is the Florida. Both places where you can just see people with machetes out in the street. Believe it or not. All right, I'll keep that in mind as well myself. You'll get an actual, like, fully lored up and described description of this next time as well.
Mm-hmm.
As I actually give you the real plot behind it. This was me rolling this up ahead of time, and I suppose I could also roll up a second one and give you a choice if you wanted to.
All right, the A-team is pinned down in in the Everglades. They need backup, or
you could do whatever else you want otherwise.
or maybe they can handle it. It's fine.
Pretty good at their jobs. The other option is actually to basically go ahead and save a ship that's been out in a dead orbit around the same planet. You could actually do one, then the other if you so desired. Preferably, it would be to do the rescue first, then the other one. But it's up to you.
That sounds like we have 2 or more maps that could constitute a mission. Then, yeah.
He says
that's
he says something along the lines, "Or you could do both jobs." And like, do we get double pay?
No.
Mm.
It's 2 parts of the same job. It's fine. They'll get double pay from having double hours, okay?
The whole
That's double pay
portion
of its
of
own
the
form.
of the pre-briefing that's about the swamp rescue, Clarkson is just kind of hollow projecting in, but still outside. Then the derelict gets mentioned, and immediately the feed cuts out, and you can hear him running in across the hull, swoop in through the airlock, and then he's there.
Personally,
fair-
the cold vacuum of space is more enticing than a swamp, but just me.
Hot, wet, thunderstormy swamp. The real shit is what I'm getting at here. This is a real fucking deep in there nasty swamp. The actual livable parts are domed, as in, you know, they have been put in an environment that has nothing to do with the outside at all. I mean, otherwise, though, Chumboard is also full of valuable resources when you get down to it, including everything you can harvest from that swamp, of which there's a lot. You can get a lot of good stuff from a swamp.
Like mud.
Mud is useful stuff.
Fish, birds.
Crude oil a lot of the time.
Now about this derelict, though, do we know if the front has fallen off?
The front has absolutely fallen off of this derelict.
You hate to see that.
It is fully outside the environment, as in it is in the orbit of the planet. So, like, that makes sense. But the front is 100% fallen off.
Well, my vote's derelict.
Derelict on the way to rescue? I feel like we could do both, man. We both sound like good ideas for maps. And a mission
both
contains many
are-
maps.
Both of the this would be a 2-map single mission is the plan and what I'm working off of here. The fun note is that one of these would actually be an alternative mission type, which is going to be fun. You have it's a holdout mission, which is to say you have to hold a location for 6 rounds. It is not necessarily just kill every enemy.
Defend a location? I don't know about that one, boss man.
Have a fight that lasts 6 rounds? Exciting. Thanks for next time.
Thanks for next time, indeed. Again, this is a much shorter mission session than normal because we are down someone, and I didn't plan on having a mech combat in this one at all. Anyway,
These things
nice to have
happen.
a short one every now and again.
Yeah.
It'll also be cool for next time because we just jump right into the combat.
Yeah. Minimal preamble, immediately slamming into adventure. There's law
Slamming
out
into
there.
mechs for 1d6 damage, and then an additional hull save for another 1d6 damage.
Yeah.
Not like I'm excited to do that or anything.
There's definitely going to come up a lot in a 0G environment full of walls and stuff in the form of a derelict mining ship around that place. Yeah.
It's almost
There's gonna
like
be walls
someone's
in
mech
there.
was made for boarding other ships and fucking them up.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Almost.
Can't wait for the very cramped indoor map where I get to bang my head into the ceiling multiple times.
Well, someone should have picked a half-size mech.
Next time. Football.
Football.